Well, the 49ers seem to have responded to all of the commotion surrounding surrounding the rumors that the Commanders are in trade talks for Brandon Aiyuk. Let's see what the 49ers say. And welcome back to another video here on the Washington Football Maniacs YouTube channel. My name is Greg. I am your host. And this channel, of course, is dedicated to news and commentary for the Washington Commanders. If you're down with that, please make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. When you do, also make sure that you hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. Hey, before we get into this, let's talk about saving money. How many of you out there want to save money? Well, you're already trying to stretch the dollar as thin as it will possibly go. Well, my partner here at Mint Mobile, they want to help you to save a lot of money on your cell phone bill. If any of you out there are like me, you know that you have to follow a very strict budget each month. You want to be able to sit back, watch Netflix, or you want to be able to go out to dinner every now and then, but you just feel like you can't really do any of that stuff because you're so busy trying to stretch that dollar. Well, my partner here at Mint Mobile, they want to help you with that. They want to save you a lot of money and give you the same service, the same quality service as what you get from big cell phone companies. That's why I am so intrigued by Mint Mobile, who this video is in partnership with. They offer premium quality cell phone coverage for as low as $15 a month. I could get all of the high-speed data, the unlimited data, unlimited talk and text, all of that stuff for a fraction of the cost. And let me tell you, it was so easy getting started. I was able to switch over my phone to Mint Mobile service in less than 15 minutes. How did I do it? I used their eSIM card, and that allowed me to get up and running in no time. But never fear for those of you who have a phone that don't come with any of those eSIM doohickeys. Just get in touch with Mint Mobile and they'll send you a SIM card, a physical SIM card, for absolutely free. There absolutely is no sacrifice to switch into Mint Mobile. In fact, you're probably sacrificing more if you don't. Switch to Mint Mobile today. The link is down in the description below. It is trymintmobile.com/maniacs. Get started today on saving a ton of money. Now that said, let's get back to this wonderful video. Adam Schefter even reported on this, saying that there was actually some talks between the Commanders and the 49ers and a possible trade for Brandon Aiyuk. But those trade talks seem to have stymied, and the Commanders decided that it was not a best deal for them, at least not at this time. So, hey, I tell you what, it did happen. I know some people were like, there's no way it's going to happen. But there were talks. But the 49ers' Brandon Aiyuk responds to the NFL Commanders trade rumors with cryptic IG Instagram comment. So, the San Francisco 49ers reportedly had trade discussions with the Washington Commanders regarding a 49ers wide receiver, Brandon Aiyuk, but the Commanders opted against doing a deal per ESPN's Adam Schefter on Monday Live, NFL Monday Live. Later in the day, JPA Football relayed the Schefter report in an Instagram post to which Aiyuk himself replied. And Aiyuk says, and I quote, "But I thought the Niners was never going to try to trade me." Aiyuk, he's 26 years old. He's just caught 75 passes for a little over 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's entering the final year of his rookie deal after the 49ers picked up his 5th-year option. Both general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan admitted during April's NFL draft that the 49ers had discussions with other teams on Aiyuk, but nothing ever seemed close. ESPN's Nick Wagner provided this report. Lynch and Shanahan acknowledged that there had been discussions with other teams Thursday, but Lynch said no deal came close to happening, while Shanahan said that a trade of Aiyuk or fellow wideout Debo Samuel never seemed likely. Asked late Thursday night if such a trade could still happen heading into Friday, Lynch and Shanahan again didn't sound like a deal for either player was imminent. Although they didn't, or I should say, though they didn't come close, they didn't close the door completely. I will get it out in a second. I am not a professional. It's clear Aiyuk isn't entirely happy with the situation. He appeared in a TikTok video on June 17th with Commanders rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels saying, "They said they don't want me back." It's unclear just what Aiyuk meant by that, whether it be after his contract expires in 24 or whether the team doesn't want him at the asking price, his asking price, in a long term deal. There are a few, of course, clear connections with the Commanders. First, he and Daniels are friends and former Arizona State teammates. Second, Commanders general manager Adam Peters worked in the 49ers front office from 2017 to 2023, all with Lynch and Shanahan. Also, ESPN analyst Ryan Clark revealed more information on NFL Live regarding a meeting Aiyuk set up with the 49ers alongside other information. And Brandon Aiyuk told us that he wanted to set this meeting up himself, and he was sitting with us and said that he's taking these negotiations personal. The way that they have negotiated with him, the way that they have told him why he's worth what he's worth, it has touched him, it has affected him. He says he wants to be in San Francisco, but first is comfortable playing elsewhere if that's something that San Francisco 49ers are willing to do via trade. So, what is my take on all this? Well, first of all, of course, Brandon and I had already had a video on this that we put out sometime last week, and you can watch that video. Go back and watch it. And, we talked about possible trade scenarios for Brandon Aiyuk. I kind of made the comment that while I wouldn't be upset if we did trade for him, you're giving up a lot, right? Because number one, you would probably have to give up a high round draft pick and another draft pick, maybe like a second and a fourth or second and a fifth, and then probably a player, possibly on top of that. And you're also going to have to negotiate a huge contract for Brandon Aiyuk as well. You might have the services for 1 year, but let's say those trade talks, or I should say contract talks, what if they stall? He becomes a free agent, and you have given up draft picks and possibly a player for a guy that you only rented for 1 year. So I felt that it's probably more prudent for Washington to let him ride out his fifth-year option with the San Francisco 49ers, and then after that, see about signing him when he becomes free agent. And that is if the 49ers can't lock him up. It doesn't sound like Brandon Aiyuk wants to be back with San Francisco. I could be wrong. We know that things sounded like that between Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, and we saw how that worked out. So, these players are trying to be businessmen as well. They're trying to get as much as what they feel like they are worth. But meanwhile, so are the teams. They're trying to be prudent and pay players that they feel like this is what value we're getting out of you. And, I think here's the one thing. You can't take this personally. I know it's easy for me to say, but you're a player in the National Football League. You're going to get paid pretty good money, especially if you're one of the better players at your position in the league. You're going to get paid by somebody. Now, it comes down to, do you want to be the highest paid player in that position? And yeah, every player probably has those aspirations. I hate that a lot of times those aspirations wind up being more in the forefront than honestly, the aspirations of wanting to win a Super Bowl and championships. But I'm not saying that all players are like that, but there's a lot of it's all about me players. And on one hand, I understand that they should be able. They need to try to get as much as they possibly can get, because Lord knows, after they have given their body for so many years, I mean, those medical bills, they start going to the doctor, trying to keep themselves walking, and some of those players are disabled, right? So they need to be able to pay for medical expenses. So I totally get trying to get as much as you can possibly get, but it is a business, and you are considered a commodity, and you are going to be negotiated from the team. I mean, that's just the reality. And I don't. It's easy for me to say players shouldn't take it personally, and I understand that. But at the same time, I think Brandon Aiyuk is going to get his money from somewhere, and I know right now he's trying to lock up that deal. I feel like he does want to be in Washington, where he can be with Jaden Daniels, his buddy. I'd love to have him in Washington, but I'm also not willing to break the bank to get him either. And I don't think that Washington is willing to mortgage their future, because you got to think there's going to be high round draft picks involved with a trade. Why do that right now when you can just wait until this year is over? And guess what? You need to be able to develop your own players if you're Washington. So you need to concentrate on, let's continue to have Terry McLaurin be as successful as he possibly can be as a number one receiver on the team. But you also need to pump up John Dotson. You need to start seeing what you can get out of him, and as well as developing other wide receivers that you have on the team, rookies you picked up, and things like that. So I'm saying that to say, if they miss out on Brandon Aiyuk at the end of the season by waiting, so be it. Develop your own players, because that to me is ultimately what you want to do if you're going to win a Super Bowl. It's not about piecing a team together by going out and getting all the big name players from other teams. Dan Snyder tried to do that and it didn't work. You do have a small amount of people out there who feel like that works, and then if it doesn't, you keep doing it until it works. No, that's not how you do it. And those people are probably not watched football for the last 25 plus years. So that being said, Brandon Aiyuk, for right now, he's going to continue to kick up the dust. But I think in the end, you're going to have Washington, who's not trading for him. They'll maybe try to sign him in the offseason next year, but they're not going to trade for him. But there was interest. And, but yeah, if the deal is right, why would you pass it up? And I totally get that as well. And kudos for the Commanders for kicking the tires on it and just seeing what the deal would be. But I think in the end, the deal was just going to be a little too much, and the Commanders need to focus on the future. Folks, let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to have Brandon Aiyuk, but let's develop our own players. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a share. Let me know your thoughts. With that said, I will see you in the next one.